That's a very good way of putting water out. In this case, my dogs are drinking it, but it's actually there for cows, not for dogs. But luckily nobody's interfering with that. Today is New Year's Eve. Tomorrow will be 2025. The future. The sci-fi future. Still no flying cars. And, you know, flying cars aren't going to happen anyway because they're not energy efficient. They don't make any sense. What makes sense are feet. Feet. Feet that go up hills. Once again, I'm walking home. And I have predictions for the next year. I don't know if they'll be accurate, because anybody who claims they can predict the future extremely well is a big liar. On the other hand, if you know the now well enough, which none of us do, then you can predict the future pretty well. I mean, if we really knew the entire state of things as they are now, and if we believe in kind of a Newtonian physics world, then we could predict everything that would occur. None of us, of course, can know how things are now. And there could be other things like, you know, quantum mechanics or randomness. That's always been a big issue with me, is like figuring out randomness. Like the very first computer program I ever wrote was in 1977, I think. And the very first thing I was most interested in was the RND function, randomness function. And of course, even randomness functions don't produce random numbers. So there's questions there, and you know, we could set up lava lamps and cameras and make it so complex that it seems randomness enough for us, which is good enough, really. As long as it's random enough to confuse us, it's random enough. But some things you can predict. You know, if I drop this pen, what do you think's going to happen? Yeah, big fucking surprise. I like this pen. It's got a button on it so you can't lose the cap. You can also predict that if you have pens that have caps on them, the cap is going to get lost. So we can predict the future pretty dang well. And regardless of your stupid ass philosophical positions about solipsism or the universe being a simulation, whatever dumbass crap you want to come up with, we are actually in agreement that a bunch of stuff is fairly predictable. So this new year of 2025, I'm predicting will be really weird. Weirder than any other that's ever existed probably in my lifetime. And my lifetime might end this year. Totally possible. And also fine with me. Some people think that has to do with politics. I don't think that's even that important. Fuck the left, fuck the right. Fuck your hatred of everyone else. It's all irrelevant. This is why my videos don't make a lot of money, because they're not really good to put ads on, because I say obnoxious shit like that. Just gotta get home. Home is coming. I guess I got to go to it. So, we could always guess at a comet hitting or, volcanoes going off, Yellowstone caldera blowing up. But that stuff is, a guess. What we can be certain of is that things will continue to go in the direction they're going. Governments around the world will get worse. That's a certainty. Because all governments do is grow, oppress people more, try and suck more out of them, enslave us more, and those governments are going to fall. I'm not sure which ones will fall when. Unfortunately, the country I come from, people have lost the fucking plot. And that's not new. It doesn't matter what the particular puppet in power is. The American dream, the legal dream that was set up a long time ago, has been gone for a very long time. Well over 100 years. So, that's unfortunate because it was actually very innovative at the time. Let's not have kings. Let's not have a religion running your society. Because when religions run societies, it's pretty terrible. And let's have individuals have rights and powers, which, of course, in the United States, the words were written, but the actual implementation was imperfect at best, since it included, the acceptance of genocide and slavery. So that's a problem. But the actual words are good. And so I really like the Constitution of the United States. I would suggest that it be followed and copied around the world, where people have freedom of speech, the freedom to arm themselves against the state, the First and Second Amendment there, the rights to not have robbers, take your shit all the time, even if they have a badge or the authority of the theoretical state. Fuck. It's not that big a hill, really. I whine about it a little bit, but it's not that big. But the shit you're going to have to live through this year, I'm predicting, is going to be very difficult. And unfortunately, you are probably going to blame other people for it who are really in the same boat as you. And this is why the boat is going to sink. The boat will sink. Civilization will fall because people just fight each other. And they don't identify the actual fucking enemy. Because we all serve that enemy. I don't know who we is. I hate it when people say that kind of shit. I don't have a we that I'm part of. I'm hopefully not on your team or any other. I hope I'm on Team Earth. Fuck your borders. Fuck your theoretical needs, which are just consumerist bullshit mostly. Fuck, I like my dogs more than I like most people. New Year's Eve, 2024. What will the new year bring? Can I make any useful predictions? Well, they wouldn't be predictions based on some kind of mystical shit, but just looking at how things are going. It appears We have not solved the problem of war. It'd be nice if we did. It would be nice if every young person around the world said, I'm not going to be your fucking slave and go kill other people in other lands for resources. That'd be great. Total rebellion against war. Would be wonderful, because war is ecologically terrible, it's individually terrible, and it doesn't just kill the young men. It's always the young ones we send off to die, right? We want to kill young men. That's the big goal of government. Because young men are the ones who will overthrow your government, so we must kill them or oppress them. And use the slaves to pay off anyone semi-intelligent to become part of the government. Which I know smart people who fall for that shit. Smart. In quotes. Scare quotes. Dumbass motherfuckers. That's, most people I know. It's more comfortable to be a slave than it is to fight. And who are you going to fight against? I kind of do know that, but it would probably be illegal for me to say. Definitely illegal to say. It's legal to say we should kill people somewhere far away, but it's not legal to promote freedom in your own land. That is very frightening to the people who benefit from your slavery locally in your land. So we can predict more war, more state oppression, and interestingly enough, people are reproducing less, which I find interesting. And probably a good idea. One way or the other, as we contaminate the entire planet, the population of Earth is going to be going down to about a billion or 2 billion people. And along the way, we'll probably wise up a little bit and say, how the hell did we let this happen? And maybe we'll go extinct. Also a possibility, because we just went too far. It's ecological overshoot. We're screwing things up pretty heavily, and we're sicker than ever. Even though we have better medical technology than ever, we don't allow a private medical system to exist, which would solve our medical system issues. We don't allow freedom. And it really comes down to freedom. Will we allow people to own themselves or not? And the apparent answer is no. And unless you fight for your freedom, and I mean fight, there's going to be blood if you want to be free. Because there's plenty of people who will hire other people to threaten you and to enslave you. So you get a choice. Do you want to be a slave or not? Do you want your children to be slaves? If the earth even survives long enough for them to be slaves. Or are you going to fight? Now, I can't tell you who to fight. And I don't want you to be violent. But violence does run the world. You pay for it with your taxes. You pay for it with your life. And even couples can't figure their shit out. So, we're all kind of selfishly stupid. We are radically dishonest when we should practice radical honesty and nonviolent communication. Those are book references or philosophical references, in case you're wondering. Ah, fuck. So, my New Year's party tonight will be pretty quiet. I might even sleep right through it. But I hope that you get a clue. I hope that you can see the future. And whatever happens in 2025, there will be more war and oppression. And I don't know if anything extreme will happen to cause societal collapse, but it's possible. And I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not in favor of it. Anybody listening to this, some of them will comment. Like they'll say, oh, you want things to fall apart. And it's like, well, actually, yes and no. I don't want the process of them falling apart. What I would like is the result of the collapse of the evil systems that exist in the world. And you're in favor of some of those collapsing. Like you're probably not pro-Taliban, right? That's not good for people, women, anything. It's not even good for Islam. Like I don't really give a shit about Islam that much, but we would like many systems in the world to collapse. But you want to stay in your comfortable world. And that in itself is extremely dangerous because you are participating in evil. Probably. I mean, I've gone as far the fuck out as I can to the point of death. And I still participate in evil. So good luck to you, and I hope you can help fix this shit, because I sure can't do it alone, and I'm not saying I'm better than you, but I'm at least better in not participating as directly as most of the theoretically successful people are. So don't go kill anyone unless it's useful. Peace won't be happening. There is no pacifist correct position. I remain a person who thinks that food forest farming is a good idea. And for whoever survives the collapse of civilization, we would like to have food around us. Our labor for agriculture will once again become important. And maybe we can live in some kind of better world. Probably won't be a solar punk, vision of the future. Solar punk is an interesting term, but often requires too much technology as far as it's envisioned. And there never was a noble savage. You can look up the noble savage concept. Sorry, but we all fucked each other over forever. But maybe we can agree on some values where we actually promote each other's freedom, where we heal the earth. I mean, this is hippie-ass thoughts from my heart. Maybe whoever's left, whoever doesn't, if there's anyone left that doesn't go extinct, then maybe we can live better with different values. And we can start doing that now. Because fighting the system that's going to fail anyway isn't going to do it. And I think Buckminster Fuller said something about that, about not fighting against what you don't want, but creating the alternative. And I'm kind of all about that. Like, let's just create the alternative. Let's start living it now. And that's a personal quest and a group quest. And it's difficult either way. It's hard enough just to fix yourself. But we got to fix it as groups. And I don't know how to group up with other people. I don't trust anyone. I certainly don't trust you. But we got to find ways we can trust each other. And invest in the land, invest in things that are not going to collapse. Because all the things you call money or value, all irrelevant. Totally not important. Invest in infrastructure in the land, build root cellars, learn how to dehydrate food, learn how to grow food all around you. We have so many options we did not have back in, let's say, the year 1800. We have so much genetic diversity we can gather near us of plants that fit in with our ecosystem. Regardless of what Köppen climate zone you live in, you can figure out, like, well, maybe you shouldn't be living in the one you're living in. Maybe you need to move, because there's whole parts of the earth where most people will just die. There's too many people for the land that they inhabit. So, good luck to you in 2025. Fuck. Survival. I wonder what video I'll make before it becomes 2026. Hopefully I'll be dead by then. But this will be an interesting year. And there is that Chinese curse. May you live in interesting times. We live in interesting times. And you have the greatest power there is. You have the power of yourself. Try and be kind. Try and help. Do a good job. I don't know what else to tell you. Except good luck. You're gonna fucking need it. Good luck to us all. And goodbye.